If you don't commit to meaningful work, life will fill your time with busy work. That will be the title for today's video. You see, these days in the modern world, meaningful work isn't as prevalent. You don't see it as often. You don't see people that are really dedicating their lives towards mission, towards a purpose, towards something bigger than them. Whether it's a career or not, whether they're making money or not, that's not the point. The point is to do something that really fills your cup, that pours into your soul, that provides you with fulfillment, that gives you the joy and satisfaction of watching yourself as well as the tree the seed you're planting, I should say, grow. And this quote of, if you don't commit your life to meaningful work, life will fill your time with busy work. That's a quote by the visionary himself, Naval Ravikant. And it really hits home because he's not saying if you don't commit your life to meaningful work, then your life will be boring, then your life will be bland or basic. He's saying that there's just one or the other. It's either meaningful work or busy work. And that's so true, because if you're watching this video, whether you have a job or maybe even you're unemployed, you're a student or you're unemployed, whatever it may be, you're still doing something. When you're bored, you're doing something and being bored, right? You're going to work and being bored, you're in school being bored, like you're always doing something. You're filling your time doing something. That's the bottom line. It's a question of what you're doing. A lot of people think that if they're not doing meaningful work, then they're just doing nothing. But in life, there's no such thing as doing nothing. You can't be stagnant. Stagnant does not exist. It's an illusion. You're either going up or going down. You're either dark or light. You're either up or down. There is no middle ground. And I think that's the bottom line that this quote really touches on. You're either doing meaningful work or you're doing busy work. And I think the key point of this too is the fact that the people that aren't doing the meaningful work, they're deluding themselves into thinking it's meaningful work. It's the illusion of them thinking, oh, well, just because I'm, checking off these emails or, having a to-do list and checking those off and, fulfilling my requirements and my duties, responsibilities, and showing up to the job and working hard on this project and building this business, and that's quote unquote meaningful work. Because I think we always want to think that we're doing meaningful work, that what we're doing actually matters. It actually matters, but most of the time, it doesn't matter. A lot of the time, it doesn't matter, I should say, if you're not really intentional with where your energy is going, right? So you have to audit yourself, you have to audit your life into asking yourself, okay, well, what I'm doing right now, is it actually meaningful work? Like, is it? Is it gonna transform me? Is it gonna allow me to grow and flourish? Now, you may not need to be in a point where you're like really ultimately fulfilling your life purpose just yet. That's something that gradually comes. It's like peeling an onion, but you have to start peeling it in order to get to where you want to go. And a lot of people haven't even peeled a layer. You see, I like to think that I've at least peeled a few layers, trying to get to the core of it, the real core of who I am and what really allows me to flourish in a way where it's meaningful to me. You don't just one day discover it and you could get to the core. No, it takes time. It takes time. But you have to be in the arena. You have to be in the arena, commit to meaningful work, instead of being a spectator. When you're a spectator, you're doing busy work. You're making money. You're doing things. You're making an impact on the surface. A lot of people, again, they like to think that, oh, well, just because I'm like doing something in my work means that I'm, quote unquote, making an impact. But the reality is that's so far from the truth. That is entirely far from the truth. Like, there's so many jobs where it's such an illusion of you thinking that, I'm a manager, I'm a CEO, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, the entrepreneur trap. That's a really interesting one, because maybe this is a video for another time, but entrepreneur stuff gets a lot of people, because you think that just because you're in a position where you could be your own boss and, you know, start a business and build it and scale it, then what you're doing is like, you know, so purpose driven. It's so much soul driven. It's really transforming you. When the reality is, a lot of entrepreneurs are just like the people working 9-to-5 corporate jobs. It's the only difference that they're working for themselves, and they're probably working longer hours, and they're still not listening to that inner voice, that inner guardian. That's the bottom line of this video, is that meaningful work means you're very much in tune with how you feel, and it's very much driven by your intuition, right? But if you're not doing meaningful work, then that's busy work. It's work that just gets you going, gets you by each day. You look back at the year and you're proud of the money you made, but you're not proud of the impact you had. Something's missing. Like, you don't want to admit it to yourself because you're doing so well in the materialistic world, but something is lacking. You're something deep down is yearning for something else. Now, a lot of people aren't even aware to really even feel this and comprehend this, because they're kind of hiding in the money, they're hiding in the fame, they're hiding in the status, they're hiding in something, in the relationship. But if they sit down with themselves and get rid of all the distractions, all the noise of this world, you know? Me walking right now, all these cars, I'm on a busy street right now, it's very analogous to what I'm talking about right now, of how there's so much noise, there's so many lights and cars, you know, driving by, and it's hard to really sit with yourself. This is hard shit. It's not easy stuff to be able to like really do meaningful work and commit your life to it. It's not. It's a battle every day for me, to be able to like just understand like what I should be doing with how I should be, you know, allocating my energy, I should say, towards my life. It's really it's a challenge. And that's why when you hear that quote, a lot of people may not think much of it, because they may not understand to what degree this quote, you know, resonates with one's life. Because again, this is not just about like work as in a career wise. This is about your entire perspective and outlook on life. You know, if you're not committing to a meaningful relationship, you're just filling that time with busy, mundane, repetitive things, surface level things, I should say, right? With your partner, watching Netflix, arguing, talking about things that don't matter, drama, talking about friends, about other couples, about whatever it may be, spending time with other people, not even just you two, right? This is very analogous to these other areas in your life. So it's not just about your work. It's really not. It's not just about your work. And I think the more you understand that, this applies to every single area of your life. Like if you don't commit yourself to meaningful workouts, meaningful intentional workouts, and eating well, you'll just be busy doing shit, being on autopilot, being on complete autopilot with your workouts and your nutrition, with your health, right? So I guess it boils down to awareness and intention, those two. And I think the first step is to have the awareness of, am I being honest with myself? Am I being honest with myself? Honesty, self-honesty, extremely underrated. I can make a whole video just talking about self-honesty, to be honest. But seriously, gotta be honest with yourself. So if you're watching this video and you're still kind of in this kind of mindset of, is this right for me, what I'm doing right now? Is there any meaning in my work whatsoever? Ask yourself this, audit, audit all of it. This video I'm filming right now, it's December 30th, 2025. You're probably watching this video either when it comes out today, tomorrow, or hopefully the beginning of 2026. And you got to be able to steer through the noise, just like that truck that drove by, right? Steer through the noise, get clear on what 2026 is going to be like for you. How can you commit to meaningful work? Not saying you have to do a whole 180 and just like quit your job and, find your life's calling, but just do something that's going to fill your cup. Maybe it means pick up a new hobby. Maybe it means forgive someone, talk to a new person, travel to a new place. Just do something to the point where you're getting into more of a direction of meaningfulness. I think there's meaningfulness and there's, I don't know what the other opposite would be, just like filling the time, being on autopilot, less aware, that spectrum. Just try to trend more towards the meaningfulness of life, because that's when everything opens up. When you'll make more money, when you'll be in better shape, and you just feel less empty. You'll feel less empty. Because I've been on both sides of the spectrum, and I'm really trying to be more intentional with getting towards the meaningfulness of life, because it's really beautiful. Anyways, that is a wrap on today's video, the second last video of 2025. And as always, I shall see you in the next one. Peace out.